Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success like iron draws the needle of a compass, while others, with equal intelligence, equal opportunity, and equal time, wander through life unnoticed, unfulfilled, and unremarkable? It is not luck. It is not chance. It is not favor. It is something far deeper, something most people never discover, and even fewer dare to develop. Success is not something you chase. It is something you attract by the person you become. The world doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you are prepared for. And right now, whether you know it or not, you are either repelling success or pulling it toward you with every thought, every decision, and every silent belief you hold. If you've been working hard but results are missing, if you've been dreaming big but life feels small, if you've been waiting for something to change outside, you're about to discover the truth. The power was never out there. It has always been in you. But until you become the person who attracts success, success will never stay. This is not just about money. It's not just about recognition. It's about stepping into the version of yourself who commands respect, earns results, and walks into rooms knowing, I was built for more. Have you ever asked yourself what you truly want from this life? Not what others expect of you, not what society says you should chase, but what your spirit, your heart, your inner being longs for. Most people go through life without ever answering that question. They float from one distraction to the next, one job to the next, 1 year to the next, hoping that success will somehow stumble upon them. But success never stumbles. It is drawn in, magnetized, pulled by a force far greater than luck, and that force begins with one thing, a definite chief aim. Without a clear, definite aim in life, a person becomes like a ship without a rudder, drifting wherever the winds of circumstance blow. One day they're motivated. The next day they're confused. One moment they have energy. The next moment they're paralyzed by doubt. That's the life of the wanderer. And it is the opposite of what it means to attract success. The most successful individuals in history, regardless of the time or field they came from, have this one thing in common. They knew exactly what they were after. Their mind, their energy, their decisions. Everything was channeled in one direction. A man or woman who has a definite chief aim is dangerous, focused, and relentless. They cannot be swayed by temporary failure or delayed gratification. Why? Because their eyes are locked on the prize. Your chief aim is not a vague dream. It is not a wish. It is not something you kind of want. It is the one thing that when you think about it, your heart beats faster. It is the one thing that when pursued with full commitment brings every other area of your life into alignment. It gives your days meaning, your struggles purpose, your sacrifices value. But here's the truth. Most people avoid defining their chief aim because it demands responsibility. The moment you say, this is what I want from life, you eliminate the option of blaming anyone else for your results. You become accountable, and that scares people. So they settle for vague goals. I want to be successful. I want to be happy. I want to be rich. But how? Doing what? For what reason? Vague goals produce vague results. Success does not respond to indecision. It demands clarity. A definite aim acts like a magnet. When your mind knows exactly what it wants, it begins to attract the people, resources, and opportunities that align with that goal. You will notice coincidences, synchronicities, and random moments that all move you closer. But it all starts with clarity. The world cannot deliver what you are too afraid to define. It's not enough to simply know what you want. You must obsess over it. You must write it down, speak it, visualize it. Let it live in your mind as though it already exists. Every morning when you wake up, remind yourself of it. Every night before you go to bed, see it in your mind. The brain, when focused with intensity, becomes a tool more powerful than any machine created by man. You must allow your definite chief aim to consume your thoughts, not in a toxic or unhealthy way, but in a focused, passionate, purpose-driven way. Your aim should be the lens through which you see the world. Decisions become easier when you have a clear destination. Distractions lose their power. Excuses evaporate because everything either brings you closer or pulls you away from that aim. Now, many people fear choosing one thing because they believe it limits them. But it's the opposite. Clarity creates freedom. When you are focused, you move faster. You go deeper. You stop trying to do everything and instead master something. And mastery attracts success. Jack of all trades, master of none, that's the path of the lost. But when you commit to one direction, the universe clears the road for you. Think of the most successful people you admire. Entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, leaders. Each of them had a clear aim. Elon Musk didn't say, I want to do something big. He said, I want to colonize Mars and accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Michael Jordan didn't say, I want to be good at sports. He said, I want to be the greatest basketball player who ever lived. Clarity is power. Your chief aim doesn't need to make sense to anyone else. It doesn't need to be approved, applauded, or validated. It just needs to be real to you. It must be something that lights a fire inside of you, something that scares you a little because it's so big, yet excites you because you know deep down you were built for it. It is better to commit to a direction and adjust along the way than to live your whole life waiting for the perfect time to decide. Indecision is the silent killer of dreams. Every day you wait, you lose momentum. You lose time, you lose belief. But the moment you plant your flag and say, this is what I'm after, something begins to shift in your spirit. You stop acting like a victim. You stop wasting time. You stop chasing applause and start chasing progress. Because now, every step you take has meaning. You are no longer wandering. You are walking toward your vision. And that walk, that consistency, that obsession, that is what attracts success. When you move with purpose, people feel it. They may not understand it, but they respect it. Because deep down, everyone is looking for direction. And when you become the person who lives with one, you stand out in a world full of confusion. You become the lighthouse. You become the signal. And the world begins to respond. Not with applause, not with ease, but with opportunities, with open doors, with tests that build your strength and rewards that match your discipline. A man or woman with a definite chief aim is no longer hoping. They are expecting. They are not guessing. They are building, and the world cannot help but take notice. Desire is the fuel that powers the engine of success. It is not a fleeting wish or a passing thought. It is a force that burns within you, so intense that it pushes you forward even when the world around you says stop. It's the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain stuck. Without a burning desire, you will always fall prey to excuses, distractions, and doubts that will delay your progress and drain your energy. But when your desire becomes a fire within you, it consumes everything in its path, especially excuses. A burning desire is not something that fades when challenges arise. It is relentless. It is the inner drive that says, no matter what happens, I will not quit. I will not let obstacles stand in my way. When you have a deep, unwavering desire for something, it becomes a part of your identity. It becomes your reason for waking up every morning, your reason for pushing through pain, your reason for continuing when others would have turned back. This is the kind of desire that transforms ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. So, what exactly does a burning desire look like? It's not a wishful thought, like I want to be successful or I want to make money. That's just a vague dream. A burning desire is specific, clear, and detailed. It has a target, a goal that drives you with the kind of force that nothing else can match. You need to be able to feel it in your bone. You need to believe it so deeply that the mere thought of not achieving it seems unbearable. For example, think of someone who has an unshakable desire to be a successful entrepreneur. Their desire goes beyond just wanting financial freedom. It's about creating something from the ground up, solving problems, making an impact, and leaving a legacy. When the desire is that strong, every setback becomes a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone. They don't let the fear of failure or the possibility of losing money stop them. Their desire is greater than the obstacles, and it drives them forward in ways that mere motivation never could. But here's the problem. Most people don't have a burning desire. They might have an interest in something, but it's not intense enough to push them through the hardest parts of the journey. They start strong, but as soon as they face difficulty, they back off. They make excuses. It's too hard. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. I'm not ready. These are the words of someone who doesn't have a burning desire. They are the words of someone who is not committed enough to break through the barriers that lie between them and their goal. Excuses are the enemy of success. They come in many forms: fear, doubt, procrastination, self-pity, and even laziness. They are all rooted in a lack of desire. When you truly want something, no excuse will be enough to stop you. You will find a way. You will make the time. You will sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed. And most importantly, you will never accept failure as an option. When your desire burns bright enough, no obstacle is big enough to keep you from achieving what you set out to do. One of the most powerful tools for building a burning desire is to connect your goal to a deeper emotional drive. When you have a purpose that is tied to something bigger than yourself, the desire becomes even stronger. Maybe you want to build a business because you want to provide a better life for your family, or perhaps you want to become a leader in your field because you feel a deep responsibility to help others. When your desire is connected to a higher purpose, it becomes a powerful force that pulls you forward, no matter the challenges. This is where most people fail. They set goals that sound good on paper, but they don't connect those goals to a deeper emotional drive. They don't ask themselves, why do I really want this? When you can connect your desire to a powerful reason, it becomes unshakable. You will fight for it. You will work through the pain. You will keep going when others quit. The deeper your emotional connection to your goal, the more impossible it becomes for excuses to have any power over you. There is no such thing as a perfect time to start. If you wait for all the conditions to be just right, you'll be waiting forever. The only time that matters is right now. If your desire is strong enough, you will find a way to make it happen, no matter what your circumstances are. People with a burning desire are not waiting for things to line up perfectly. They make things happen despite the challenges. They move with urgency, with passion, and with conviction. Every day is a new opportunity to push one step closer to their goal, and they don't waste any of it. Here's the truth. Excuses are simply the mind's way of telling you that you don't really want something badly enough. When your desire is strong, the excuses lose their power. They can't hold you back because your drive to achieve your goal is stronger than any obstacle that might appear. This is why it's essential to cultivate a desire that is all-consuming. When you do, excuses won't even enter your mind. They will be swept away by the overwhelming force of your commitment. But building a burning desire is not something that happens overnight. It's a process. It starts with identifying exactly what you want and then committing to it fully. From there, you need to nurture that desire every single day. Speak it into existence. See it in your mind. Feel it in your heart. The more you feed your desire, the stronger it becomes. And the stronger it becomes, the more invincible you become. When you develop a burning desire that consumes all excuses, you become unstoppable. No setback, no failure, no challenge can break you. Your goal becomes the fire that fuels you, and nothing will stand in your way, because you know that excuses are just the voice of fear trying to hold you back, and you are stronger than any fear. You are ready to burn with the intensity that attracts success. Faith is the cornerstone of success. It is the invisible force that propels you forward, especially in moments of doubt, struggle, and uncertainty. It is the belief in yourself, your abilities, and the process that will ultimately lead to your success. Without faith, you become a prisoner of fear and indecision. With it, you are unstoppable. But cultivating true faith, the kind that transcends obstacles, requires more than just positive thinking or blind hope. It requires deep belief in your potential and trust in the journey that you are on, even when the results are not immediately visible. At the heart of this faith is a belief in your own abilities. Too often, people doubt themselves before they even begin. They question their talent, their knowledge, or their worth. This doubt is a silent killer. It whispers that you're not good enough, that you can't achieve what you've set out to do. It's easy to listen to that voice and let it dictate your actions, but doing so guarantees one thing: failure. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will either. Confidence in your own ability is the foundation on which all success is built. When you cultivate faith in yourself, you remove all limits. You stop thinking small and start thinking big. The most successful people in the world, in every field, have one thing in common. They have an unwavering belief in their own potential. They are not deterred by setbacks. They don't shrink when things get tough. They know that failure is simply a part of the process, not the end of the journey. They believe that every obstacle, every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to get one step closer to their goal. But faith in yourself is not enough. You must also trust the process. Success does not happen overnight. It is not a magic trick that you can just wish into existence. It is the result of sustained effort, consistent action, and a willingness to push through the difficult moments. The process is long, and it is often filled with challenges, doubts, and moments when it feels like nothing is working. This is where most people give up. They want instant results, and when they don't get them, they start doubting the process. They wonder if it's worth it. They wonder if they're doing something wrong. The key to success is to trust that the process works even when you can't see the immediate results. Faith in the process means knowing that every action you take, every effort you make is building towards something greater. It means understanding that the work you put in today, even if it doesn't yield results immediately, is setting you up for success in the future. The seeds you plant today will bear fruit tomorrow, but only if you have the patience to let them grow. Trusting the process requires persistence. It means continuing to move forward even when the road ahead is unclear. It means embracing discomfort, pushing through failure, and sticking to your path no matter how hard it gets. When you believe in the process, you stop looking for shortcuts. You stop trying to avoid hard work. You understand that there are no easy wins in life, and the real rewards come from showing up day after day, putting in the effort, and giving it your best. This faith in both yourself and the process is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. It's easy to start something. Everyone starts, but not everyone finishes. Why? Because most people quit when things get difficult. They don't believe in themselves enough to push through the challenges. They don't trust that their efforts will pay off in the end. But those who succeed are the ones who keep going, even when the odds are stacked against them. They trust that the process is working, even when they can't see the immediate results. And they believe with all their heart that they are capable of achieving what they set out to do. When you cultivate faith in yourself and the process, you transform the way you approach challenges. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, you see them as opportunities to learn and improve. When you fail, you don't give up. You analyze what went wrong, adjust your approach, and try again. You understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. It is through failure that you learn, grow, and refine your skills. Without failure, there is no growth. Without growth, there is no success. This kind of faith is not blind. It's not about wishing for success or hoping that things will work out. It's about taking deliberate action, making informed decisions, and moving forward with the confidence that your efforts are leading you to your goal. It's about trusting that every step you take is bringing you closer to the person you are meant to become and the life you are meant to live. When you trust yourself, you stop second-guessing your decision. You stop doubting your worth. You stop fearing failure. Instead, you act with certainty, knowing that your abilities and the process will carry you through. This is what makes faith such a powerful force. When you have it, nothing can stand in your way. You become immune to fear and self-doubt because you know deep down that you are capable of achieving great things. The process might not always be easy, and the road ahead might not always be clear. But when you have faith, you have the strength to persevere. You understand that success is not about avoiding challenges, but about rising above them. It's not about being perfect, but about being persistent. When you trust yourself and the process, you become unstoppable. So start today. Cultivate faith in yourself and trust the process. Believe that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to. Trust that every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward your goal. And when things get tough, as they inevitably will, remind yourself that success is not about how quickly you get there, but about how long you are willing to persist. Keep moving forward, keep believing, and keep trusting. The results will come, and when they do, you'll look back and realize that every moment of doubt, every obstacle, and every struggle was part of the process that led you to your success. The environment you surround yourself with has an enormous impact on your success. It shapes your mindset, influences your decisions, and either propels you forward or holds you back. Many people underestimate the power of their environment, but those who truly understand how success works know that who you are surrounded by, where you spend your time, and what you consume all contribute to the direction your life will take. If you want to become a winner, you must surround yourself with a winning environment, one that nurtures growth, fosters positive energy, and pushes you to be your best. The people you associate with play a pivotal role in shaping the life you create. It's often said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a truth rooted in human psychology. If you are consistently surrounded by people who have a negative outlook, who complain, who are stuck in their comfort zones, it becomes incredibly difficult for you to rise above that. Negative energy is contagious, and over time it will seep into your thoughts, your actions, and your overall mindset. You may find yourself making excuses, doubting your abilities, or even giving up on your dreams. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who are driven, focused, and constantly striving to improve, you naturally rise to their level. Winners create winners. When you're around people who challenge you, inspire you, and push you to think bigger, you begin to internalize those qualities. You start to see the world through a different lens, one of possibilities, opportunities, and potential. Their success becomes a mirror that reflects what's possible for you. Their energy becomes the fuel that powers your own ambition. This is why it's so important to evaluate the relationships in your life and ensure that they are supportive of your growth. But it's not just about the people you spend time with. It's also about the environment you create for yourself. A physical space that promotes success is just as essential as the people around you. Your surroundings should inspire you, motivate you, and help you focus on your goal. A cluttered, disorganized, and chaotic environment can create mental confusion and distract you from your purpose. When your environment is disordered, it's easy for your thoughts to be disorganized as well, making it difficult to concentrate and take the right actions. A clean, organized, and well-maintained space, on the other hand, helps you feel more focused, calm, and capable of achieving great things. It's about setting the stage for success. This applies not just to your home or office space, but also to the digital environment you create. In today's world, much of our attention is consumed by social media, news, and digital content. The online world is filled with distractions, negativity, and toxic influences that can easily derail your mindset. If you want to cultivate a winning environment, you must be intentional about what you allow into your life through digital channels. Follow people who inspire and challenge you. Consume content that aligns with your goals and values. Avoid the negativity that often pervades social media. Instead of scrolling through endless feeds of irrelevant content, make sure that your online environment is an extension of your real-world commitment to success. The media you consume also affects your mindset. The books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the videos you watch, all of these contribute to the ideas and beliefs you hold. If you fill your mind with stories of success, motivational talks, and teachings from those who have achieved what you aspire to, you begin to adopt the mindset of a winner. You start to believe that success is possible for you too. When you spend time engaging with content that challenges your thinking, you push yourself to grow intellectually and emotionally. On the flip side, if you constantly consume content that reinforces negativity, victimhood, or hopelessness, you're feeding your mind with poison. You begin to see the world through a lens of limitation and doubt, which directly impacts your ability to take action toward your goal. A winning environment also includes the habits you cultivate. Your daily rituals, routines, and the way you spend your time play a critical role in shaping your success. If you wake up every day without a plan, drifting through your morning and reacting to whatever life throws at you, it becomes difficult to move forward. But when you create a morning routine that sets you up for success, whether it's exercising, reading, meditating, or journaling, you prime yourself for a productive day. Successful people know that their habits are their most powerful asset. They have conditioned themselves to think and act in ways that align with their goals. By surrounding yourself with the right habits, you create an environment that supports your aspiration. Another aspect of a winning environment is being selective about the challenges you take on. Surround yourself with challenges that push you toward growth and success. Too often, people fall into the trap of choosing the path of least resistance. They settle for what's comfortable and familiar. But growth comes when you step outside your comfort zone and embrace challenges that force you to level up. A winning environment will constantly challenge you to grow, to improve, and to evolve. It will make you uncomfortable, but that discomfort is the fertile soil where success grows. When you create an environment that challenges you, you set yourself up to become stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling the ups and downs of life. Success also requires a mindset of abundance. A winning environment is one that reinforces the belief that there is enough success, enough wealth, and enough opportunity for everyone. When you surround yourself with people who support and uplift others, you create a network of collaboration instead of competition. You no longer view success as something limited, but rather something that can be shared. This mindset of abundance fosters cooperation, growth, and the idea that helping others will ultimately help you too. It's not about trying to outdo others, it's about elevating each other to greater heights. Finally, the environment you create should remind you of your purpose and your goals every day. It should be filled with reminders of why you're on this journey and what you are working toward. Whether it's vision boards, affirmations, or simple visual cues, these things help keep your focus on track. The environment should be a constant source of motivation and inspiration. When you walk into a room or sit at your desk, you should feel a sense of purpose. The environment should reinforce your commitment to your goals and remind you that every action you take brings you one step closer to success. In essence, a winning environment is one that nurtures your success from every angle, through the people you associate with, the physical space you create, the media you consume, the habits you form, and the challenges you embrace. It's about consciously designing a life that aligns with your highest aspirations and surrounding yourself with everything that supports your growth. When you surround yourself with a winning environment, you set yourself up for greatness. You become the product of your surroundings, and the more you curate that environment, the more inevitable your success becomes. The mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It has the ability to shape your reality, influence your actions, and determine the outcome of your life. However, without discipline, your mind can become unruly, distracted, and prone to negative thoughts. Discipline is the force that gives your mind focus, purpose, and direction. It helps you to override the distractions, doubts, and temptations that threaten to derail you. When you discipline your mind, you control your destiny. The key to cultivating this power lies in persistence and positive thought. Persistence is the act of continuing steadily despite challenges, obstacles, or difficulties. It is the refusal to give up, no matter how tough the journey becomes. When you practice persistence, you are teaching your mind to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear or the road ahead seems insurmountable. The process of cultivating persistence is about training your mind to stay focused on the long-term goal rather than getting sidetracked by immediate setbacks. It requires patience, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to your purpose. Without persistence, even the most brilliant ideas will remain unfulfilled, and the most promising opportunities will slip through your fingers. But persistence is not enough on its own. If your persistence is not directed toward the right thoughts and actions, you could be working tirelessly, but heading in the wrong direction. That's where positive thought comes into play. Positive thought is not just about thinking happy thoughts or ignoring challenges. It is about intentionally focusing your mind on solutions, possibilities, and opportunities rather than problems, limitations, and barriers. Positive thought is the process of conditioning your mind to expect success, to believe in your own abilities, and to maintain a hopeful and confident outlook, no matter the circumstances. When you discipline your mind to focus on positive thought, you begin to see the world differently. Rather than looking at problems as insurmountable obstacles, you start to see them as temporary hurdles that can be overcome with the right approach. Instead of succumbing to feelings of doubt or fear, you train yourself to recognize those thoughts, dismiss them, and replace them with empowering beliefs that propel you forward. Positive thought is not about denying reality or ignoring challenges. It is about choosing to focus on the solutions, on the opportunities, and on the strengths that lie within you. Together, persistence and positive thought create a powerful synergy that can push you to achieve things that may have once seemed impossible. With persistence, you continue to work toward your goals, even when the results are not immediately apparent. With positive thought, you maintain the belief that your efforts will pay off, and you reinforce your mental attitude to stay focused and optimistic. This combination helps you to move forward with confidence and clarity despite any setbacks or obstacles you may encounter along the way. Disciplining your mind requires intentional effort. It is not something that happens overnight. It is a daily practice that must be nurtured and developed over time. One of the first steps in disciplining your mind is becoming aware of your thoughts. Most people go through life without giving much thought to their thought patterns. They allow their minds to wander, to dwell on negativity, and to indulge in fears and doubts. This is where the discipline begins. By becoming more conscious of the thoughts you are allowing to occupy your mind, you gain control over them. You can start to recognize when negative or limiting thoughts arise, and you can consciously choose to replace them with thoughts that align with your goal. This practice of awareness and replacement is where persistence comes into play. It's easy to slip back into old thought patterns, especially when things get tough or when challenges arise. However, persistence in your mental discipline is key. Every time a negative thought appears, you must persist in redirecting your mind back to a more positive, empowering thought. This takes time and effort, but the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Eventually, your mind becomes conditioned to focus on solutions rather than problems, to believe in possibilities rather than limitations, and to stay focused on your goals no matter how difficult the journey may seem. It's also important to remember that positive thought is not about ignoring reality. Life is filled with challenges, and it's essential to acknowledge them and face them head on. However, positive thought enables you to deal with those challenges in a constructive way. Instead of letting fear, doubt, or frustration take over, you approach each challenge with a mindset of growth and problem solving. You begin to see obstacles as opportunities for learning, improvement, and innovation. With positive thought, you can look at every setback as a chance to become better, stronger, and more capable. Another crucial aspect of disciplining your mind is the ability to stay focused. Focus is a skill that must be cultivated and protected at all costs. The modern world is filled with distractions, social media, news, entertainment, and a constant stream of information. It's easy for your mind to become overwhelmed and scattered, making it difficult to stay on track with your goals. However, persistence in maintaining focus is a critical component of success. When you discipline your mind to stay focused on what matters most, you eliminate the distractions that can drain your energy and derail your progress. You prioritize the tasks that bring you closer to your goals and disregard those that serve no purpose in your journey. This focus is reinforced by positive thought. When your mind is focused on the right thoughts, thoughts of success, opportunity, and belief in your ability to achieve what you desire, your energy becomes laser-focused. Every action you take is aligned with your goals, and every decision you make is driven by your purpose. This unwavering focus, combined with positive thought, creates an unstoppable momentum that propels you forward even when the going gets tough. Over time, as you persistently discipline your mind with positive thought, you begin to see the results of your efforts. Your mindset shifts from one of uncertainty and fear to one of confidence and clarity. You begin to believe with every fiber of your being that success is not just possible, it is inevitable. With each victory, no matter how small, you reinforce your belief in yourself and your ability to overcome any challenge. Your persistence in maintaining positive thought becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy as you continue to attract the circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with your goals. Disciplining your mind is one of the most powerful actions you can take on your journey to success. It's the practice of persistently focusing your thoughts on what you want to achieve while maintaining a positive and unwavering belief in your ability to achieve it. When you combine persistence with positive thought, you create a mindset that is unstoppable. You train your mind to focus on solutions, to push through obstacles, and to remain confident in your purpose. Over time, this mental discipline becomes second nature, and the success you once dreamed of becomes your reality. Mastering your mind is the key to unlocking success. It all starts with the discipline to persist, the belief in the power of positive thought, and the unwavering commitment to your goal. Success is not a matter of luck or chance. It's a product of the thoughts you cultivate, the mindset you foster, and the actions you take. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward your success. By disciplining your mind, focusing on what truly matters, and maintaining a positive and persistent outlook, you begin to shape your own destiny. The power to succeed is within you, and it is up to you to unlock it.